Hello, everyone. Welcome to the post-game live chat between myself, I'm Tom Silverstein, and our special guest, LeRoy Butler, here for a little bit of recap of what was probably one of the most disappointing losses in the Aaron Rodgers era with a loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Lambeau Field. What's your initial thoughts as you're sitting here?
Well, this one hurts. Because I think you, Tom, some of the fans, you may lose some of the fans. You might because some of the fans. I mean, they were this whole Tom Brady thing. Just they didn't feel good about it. But when you see snow on the ground, MVP quarterback, number one offense, top 10 defense, all the boxes were checked. And it just didn't look right. But they waited to the worst time to play your worst football, Tom. The first half was a disaster.
Yeah, totally.
It really, but it was, it just particular plays. But it was a series of individuals who had some of their worst games. And these are the games or legacy type games. Because this is, back-to-back championship game losses, one at home and one on the road. It's amazing to get there, but now it's going to be fans, because they're going to probably be back next year again, but going to say, well, I just don't, I'm shocked thinking that this is going to happen again. But Tom,
go ahead.
I know the fans are hurting, and I hurt with them because I'm a defensive guy, and I say defense win championships. I will always say that. And the Packers defense played one of the worst halves, probably worst games that I've seen in a long time. And Tom, I got to give Byron Leftwich and Bruce Arians, Todd Bowles, a lot of credit. They coached their tails off today.
Mm-hmm.
They put their players in position to make plays, and they made the plays in the first half, but the Packers just couldn't overcome that. But it was every time I think of one particular play, Tom, another one pops in my head. But the Will Redmond, if he intercepts that before the half, it's a different ball game.
Well, let's go through what happened at the end of the first half. That was a huge play, and then we have to get to the final Packers series as well. A lot of controversy there. Okay, end of the half. Packers have, first of all, Tampa's got the ball. They go down the field. Brady throws another ball that easily could have been picked off. He had 3 interceptions. And I will say this about Tom Brady. He may throw interceptions, but he comes back and he makes winning plays when he has to. It sort of reminded me of like Favre. You knew you were going to get some interceptions from him, but in crunch time, he's going to make it happen. Anyway, the Packers had a chance to make him pay. Will Redmond drops a sure interception, but they end up getting the ball back, and Rodgers has the ball and he throws it up the middle and it gets picked off. There goes their chance. They were going to get the ball in the second half. They were going to have a chance to double it up. Now, Brady's got the ball at what, the 20, 30-something?
Yeah.
They go into a coverage that I don't get. Do you? All they're trying to do is not give up a touchdown. They might give up a field goal, but don't give up a touchdown.
It's 8 seconds left. They got one throw.
Yeah.
And I don't know how Scotty Miller gets behind Kevin King.
What was the coverage from your vantage point?
Well, it looked like, and we'll have to break it down because we're going to do X's and O's later. That's a play we really look at because a lot of people don't like prevent. But this is why coaches run prevent. This is why they back you up and just do one throw, because you get a player that takes a ball fake or too aggressive with one throw. And that was a terrible mistake by Kevin King. I mean, and this is not Evans or Godwin. I mean, this is your slot receiver runs right past you with no second. That was demoralizing. Yeah. It really was. I mean, that was a head scratcher.
How did
the defensive coordinators get fired over?
Yeah, and Mike Pettin might over that call. But Kevin King has got to play outside leverage on that, doesn't he?
Yes, and he should be deeper. No coach should have to tell me that. Mm-hmm. I can look at the clock and say it's one throw. They're not playing for a field goal. These guys are aggressive. Remember, they went out the field and Brady told the coach, let's go back out there. The defense is soft.
Yeah.
You can see them saying, let's go back out there and let's just try Hail Mary.
Yeah. He completed a 4th and 4 to get the first down on that drive.
Tom, the thing that really bothers me the most is 3rd down conversion. They were 8 of 11 at some point.
They were 6 of 6 to start.
I mean, it's hard to overcome that. It really is. I mean, everything is working. And now you see the snow on the ground, a team from Tampa. You're like, it just seemed like that team had the swagger to say, I think we can go in there and do something. And the Packers had everything in their favor. That's why I'm just so disappointed, because this is football now. Don't get me wrong. They get paid too. They're going to make some plays. But the wide open interception and the Kevin King, the last second, those are the kind of things that the Home Alone, like, that's the difference in the game, Tom.
Yeah, I can't.
I mean, we'll get into that later shortly. And I want to thank Olivia for stepping in for Bill. He had some family stuff to week. My condolences to his family. So we appreciate her. Double duty. I appreciate it. But this is an emotional roller coaster for the fans. Because after last year, Tom, before we go back to the game, okay, you lost to San Francisco, first year coach, fine.
Mm-hmm.
But now it seemed like Tampa were organized. They were ready. The Packers got 12 men on the field at times. So this was going to hurt for a while.
Okay. But let's go down all games last 60 minutes. And so you can play really poorly for a while. And then if you have a great quarterback, he can get you back in the game. And Tampa started having some injuries. You know, they were gone. Yeah. Both of their starting safeties were out. Yes. They started to pick on that a little bit. Valdez-Scantling had a terrific game. They couldn't get Devontae Adams open because he was being doubled. So Valdez-Scantling picked up the slack. Just what you need. They couldn't get much of a run game going, but they were still able to move the ball. And then they get down, okay, it's an 8-point game, 31-23, 1st and goal on the 8-yard line. You got to put it in there. I don't know how, if you're an MVP quarterback, you got to find a way to get it into the end zone, don't you?
Yeah, it was an opportunity for maybe Rodgers to run and score. Devontae early on had just a bad drop. He catches those passes. I mean, the offense didn't have any movement and fluid to it. And then when Aaron Jones went out with the injury and after fumbling, it's hard to overcome these turnovers. But when you're down, let's just get to the elephant in the room. I didn't really have a whole big deal problem with LaFleur kicking the field goal, because here's why. Yeah. He bet on his defense to get the ball back.
They were playing better at that point. They were
playing better. If I kick a field goal, now we can win it.
Win it.
We're in position to win it.
That's the key right there.
That's the problem. Because say they go for it, don't get it, then people would have said, well, why didn't you kick a field goal? So, okay, you live with that decision. So now you can win it. You got to get the ball back. And it
didn't happen. Tom Brady is too good. And, you know, they gave it the best they could. And Tampa came up with a great play on 3rd down that got them the first down. It was a beautifully designed play. Bruce Arians knows how to draw up plays. Brady's not going to screw that up in a clutch situation. But here's the thing. Let's talk about that 3rd and 8. Okay, so they missed 3 times, and LaFleur's thinking, all right, we're not, we tried 3 times. We still have to score a touchdown and get a 2-point conversion. So let's, kick the field goal. If we get another chance, we win. There's no guarantee they were going to get a touchdown on 4th down.
Oh, no question. I mean, it just really, I like it. I don't have a problem with that. It's just particular plays because as your coach supposed to do, give me a chance to win.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a chance to win. And the defense just down the stretch could not. See, like the defense was demoralized because they got the 2 interceptions by Jair Alexander and got no points.
Yeah.
Now they can't protect Rodgers. Wagner and Billy Turner had a problem with their front 4. If you can rush 4 people, you really can't block 5 if you can't block 4. Because sometimes these plays take time to materialize.
Yeah. I will say this, though, on the 3 plays at the goal line or at the 8-yard line, Rodgers had protection. The Tampa dropped 4 or rushed 4. Yep. I just watched him just a minute ago.
Yep.
And he bailed the pocket on 1 when he didn't really have to. And then he bailed on the 2nd one or the 3rd one as well. And then I thought he could have run it in.
Yeah. Yeah. But that would have been good to run it in there. Now you got the momentum and things would have been,
oh gosh, everything changes. It would have been like the Favre touchdown in County Stadium if he would have scored there on that run.
The game was going to change when Tom Brady threw a lollipop to Amos. He intercepts it. I said, oh man, this is the momentum you need.
Yeah.
And now, then you kick the ball off, and then they run it back to almost to the 40. It's just like special teams. Come on, do something here. But this one gonna hurt, Tom, because when fans go to sleep at night, it's these particular plays down the stretch because you play so good against the number 1 defense, the Rams, but this defense seemed to be too fast and too smart. But you still had your opportunities.
Yeah.
And the 2-point conversion by St. Brown, the game's different if he catches that. It's just different.
Yeah. Yeah. There's so many plays. Well, that's what these NFC Championship games are all about. There's plays, and then it comes down to the last minute. And who's the guy who's going to make the play at the last minute? And someone's going to be a hero and someone's not. And the Buccaneers were the heroes. It was Brady completing that pass to Godwin was really tough. He destroyed them, Chris Godwin.
And he had a couple drops to help you. Him and Evans had a couple drops to just keep you in. They were giving you opportunities. But again, they came into this game. They wanted to target Kevin King. They wanted to play action 26. And they wanted to try to get out on the perimeter, run the ball out on the perimeter. There's a couple of times they had Fournette in the hole stop. He spins out and scores. These are the kind of plays that you're thinking, despite all of that, you still had a chance.
Yeah.
And that's just so disappointing in this because you never want to see people congratulate themselves and get all this stuff on your home field. That's demoralizing in itself. And this team has squandered away all the good opportunities and just couldn't come up with it. So, Tom, I just think that's what the fans are going to be so disappointed because they're in this position again. They're not going to be as confident that they can win. So the Packers have to prove that they can continue to win and get back to this position again. And Matt LaFleur got to rally the troops because you got to keep these guys together, the ones you want to bring back. And the guys you're not bringing back, I just got to make that crystal clear. You're moving in another direction because this is one of the most this one I was thinking about, Tom, between this one and the Seattle 2014, the one I think it was 2014 in Seattle. up 19-9 in the fourth quarter. And then Bostic with the onside kick. This one may be above all of that because you got home field.
Maybe. I still think that's the worst one ever, but this was a bad one too.
Yeah, because it's debatable.
All right. Well, we will break it down further when we come back with X's and O's this week and 5 questions. A lot of time to dissect this game, but the season is over.
Yeah.
Gotta come to grips. All the fans have to come to grips with it, and you do too.
Oh yeah. So life goes on. I know.
Yeah, but before we go, let's. You have some sponsors you want.
Yeah, I want to thank the sponsors all year. They've been fantastic. They really have. My Game Day Brats, GameDayBrats.com, Ivanhoe's Pub and Eatery in Racine. Pick and Save has been fantastic all year. And I appreciate the support with the anti-bullying book that we've had all year. Frankie'sWreathCompany.com. And, of course, the Jewelry Center Shop, TJC.com. And, of course, Leap Spirits, my Leap Spirits vodka. And thank you for the fans for making it like #1 in Wisconsin. I appreciate that. So I'm just disappointed. Fans, I feel your pain. And the players are they feel just as bad. And so do the head coach. All that I can say is we'll break it down this week, Tom, and I'm sure they'll be back next year.
All right. That sounds like a plan. Well, regardless, we'll be here next year. So be sure you tune in this week and throughout the year. Check out JS Online and Packers News for all the coverage. So for LeRoy, I'm Tom. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.